Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I was actually just catching up on some boxing. I was going back and watching some fights from the past couple weeks that maybe I missed or didn't make videos about, and one fight that I had a chance to watch, and I hadn't made any videos about it to this point, was the rematch between Miguel Berchelt and Francisco Vargas. As many of us may know who've been following boxing, you know, Berchelt and Vargas had a great fight back in 2016. They had the 2016 fight of the year. It was an absolutely great fight for both of them. They're both two of boxing's true warriors. Like I have a lot of respect for Berchelt. He's been improving. He's been getting better. I have a lot of respect for Vargas because he's given the fight fans and the fight game a lot of memories and things to remember him by. A lot of moments we can remember him by. So I have a lot of respect for these two guys, and I didn't watch the fight because this was on May 11th, which I think there was another fight card on that day so that's why I didn't pay attention to it. But I think it was the same day as, was it Julian Williams? I'm gonna say Julian Williams versus Jarrett Hurd. It might have been the same day, but regardless, I had a chance to watch the fight, and I'll say this, man. Miguel Berchelt, with every fight, ever since he won the title against Vargas in early 2017, Berchelt's been improving. He's been improving. He's been getting better. I'm watching him, right? So I'm watching him, and his guard is a lot tighter. Like you watch Berchelt, and his guard is a lot tighter, and his head movements still need some work, as most fighters do, but it's improving. He showed the ability to move and slip a lot of punches. But his guard is a lot tighter, his hand's a lot tighter. You don't see him dropping his hand as much as he was maybe 3, 4, 5 fights ago, and he's improving in those ways. Also, I would also say, he's always been a pretty good infighter, a pretty good combination puncher, but his combination punches against Vargas were absolutely amazing. You saw Berchelt throwing 3-punch combinations up top, coming downstairs, coming up the middle, slipping, throwing a jab, come back this way, boom, 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 then going out of the body. It was just a masterclass in punch placement and combination punching. We'll be fair. We'll look at things for how they are. Vargas isn't. We're not gonna confuse the guy with Pernell Whitaker. He doesn't move his head that much. He comes forward, so he's not the hardest guy to hit in the world. But still, the amount of flush shots Berchelt was able to land, and the loud thudding shots he was able to land, I just think it was a really good performance from him. As for Vargas, if we look at Francisco Vargas, a good fighter, a guy who's always given you your money's worth. The only guy Vargas has ever lost to has been, Miguel Berchelt. You see what I'm saying? But he's been in some really good fights, beating some solid fighters. He's beaten the likes of Juan Manuel Lopez, Takashi Miura, which was an amazing fight, one of the best fights we've seen in the last 5 years. He's beaten Steven Smith. He had that fight with Rod Salka, that many of us remember, for the trunks. But I would say this about Francisco Vargas. He's 34 years old. He's been in a lot of wars. I'm not gonna say that he should retire, but I think it's something that maybe he should start giving some thought to, because he's been taking a lot of punishment. Even in the fights that he wins, he takes a lot of punishment. So I don't know. He's still a good fighter. He still showed the ability in the Berchelt fight to press forward. He was still dangerous. He still presented himself as a threat when he was pressing forward on Berchelt. But at some point in time, you got to say when before it's time to say when and retire and hang it up. And that's the problem a lot of fighters have. So I think he's a great fighter. If he wants to continue fighting, that's his prerogative. Who am I? I'm just a kid from Dania. I'm not one to tell a fighter when he should retire, but he's definitely taking a lot of punishment, and it's something he might want to give some thought to. But that's not to say he's not a quality fighter, because he still is a quality fighter. I just think he ran into a guy who had his number in Berchelt, a guy who's younger, stronger, fresher, with the style to beat him, and Berchelt's beating him twice. So fair play to Berchelt. I'll say this about Berchelt. Okay, so he's looked impressive. He's been he's shown himself to be an improving fighter, a fighter that's entering his prime. And I gotta be honest with you guys, okay? Now, Lomachenko, I have a lot of respect for Lomachenko. I know I made my videos about Teofimo Lopez and whatnot, because I feel very strongly that he should fight Teofimo Lopez, but that's not gonna happen. So we'll move on, and we'll put that to bed. Lomachenko has expressed many times that he wants to fight back at 130 because that's his best weight. That's his natural weight class. He said it even on his own YouTube channel that he'd like to move down to 130. But he's only mentioned Gervonta Tank Davis, and I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm starting to wonder why doesn't Lomachenko mention this guy? And I'm not saying that just to insinuate that he's ducking Berchelt or whatnot. I'm just asking a question. Why is he? Why is that fight not being considered? Because that would be an absolutely excellent matchup between him and Berchelt. You know, Lomachenko's a guy who likes to sit there and fight in the pocket. Obviously he moves and he's very athletic and he flows really nicely and he makes you miss a million punches and he comes back and he slips and then he's over here 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 and then he's over here. And Lomachenko's an exceptional fighter, we know that, but his style, I think his style would mesh well with Berchelt because he likes to sit there in the pocket. Berchelt likes to fight in the pocket, so you know, it could make for some really wonderful exchanges. And Berchelt has really good hand speed. He places his punches really good. He's pretty heavy-handed. He's got good reflexes. I don't understand why this fight isn't being talked about from the Lomachenko side of things, and from his you know, just from boxing fans in general. It's not even Lomachenko, but boxing fans in general. Why aren't they clamoring more for Berchelt? You know, and I'll be honest with you, maybe I've underrated Berchelt a bit because I haven't made that many videos about Berchelt. I enjoy watching him fight. He's just one of those guys, for whatever reason, maybe I just haven't made a proper amount of videos for Berchelt. But I really think this fight with Lomachenko is a fight that they should look into, because when we look at 135 and the landscape of it, he's gonna fight Luke Campbell supposedly, right? And then after that, you know, who does he really have to fight at 135? Is he gonna fight Devin Haney? Is he gonna fight Teofimo Lopez next? The odds are probably not. He's probably not gonna fight one of those guys next. So I figure, why not in the interim time? Why not go down to 130 and challenge Berchelt for the 130-pound WBC belt? You know, that would be an excellent fight. It would be a big fight for Berchelt. You know, another level for Berchelt. I think we'll be able to see how good Berchelt is. And you know, Berchelt does one thing really great that I think could give Lomachenko some problems. If Lomachenko has mental lapses, because Lomachenko, for as good of a fighter as he is, he's still beatable. Any fighter is beatable. When he fought Hoy Linares, you know, he squared up and he stood straight up and he walked right into his straight and right hand. And you know, you've seen Salido cut the distance on him and go to the body. And I'll tell you this right now, Berchelt, if he can cut the distance on a guy like Lomachenko, I mean, I could see him going to the body and just landing some thudding shots on Lomachenko. And if he breaks him down, you know, and Lomachenko can't move around the ring as much, it becomes a very winnable fight for Miguel Berchelt. So that's what I want to see. I think the style match would be very well. And it's a fight I think boxing fans should start clamoring for more, because he's not going to fight Teofimo Lopez and he's not going to fight Devin Haney, or he's not going to fight, you know, any one of the other top guys at 135. Let him go down to 130, which is his best weight, by his own admission, his best weight. If he can beat Berchelt, you know, first of all, that'd be a high-quality win, because Berchelt's an excellent fighter. And then all of a sudden, you know, you can go down there and you can, you know, that's how you can get a Tank Davis fight, because Tank Davis is supposed to fight soon. So we'll see, man. But I just want to get my thoughts out there on Berchelt and just show him some love, because it was an absolutely amazing war that they put on in Tucson, Arizona. Big shout out to Tucson, Arizona. It was a really excellent fight. Just if you're a fan of infighting, because you know, a lot of time, one thing I really enjoyed about these two fights with Berchelt and Vargas, you know, for the 18 rounds that they shared with each other, because Berchelt stopped them in the 6th round. One thing I really liked about their two fights was it was clean inside fighting. What I mean is, they're shoulder to shoulder, they're toe to toe, but they're working. There's no excessive holding. There's no elbows. There's none of that stuff. They're just working in there, and you know, it's one of the lost arts in boxing today, in fighting, inside fighting, and some of these shots that Berchelt was just getting leverage on, bang, 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 bang. He was just absolutely fun to watch, and like I just got done watching the fight. I liked it so much I might rewatch it again, because he showed the ability to land punches on the inside. He showed the ability to get leverage and a lot of torque in pivoting on his power punches, and just he looks to be improving and coming into his own at the age of 27. You know, it looks like the physical ability and the mental ability is beginning to meet up at its highest peak. And when that happens, as we say on True Schools, when the physical ability and the mental abilities of a fighter meet up at its highest point, that's when you get a fighter in their prime. And I think Berchelt, it's safe to say that he's entering his prime. So that's my take on Berchelt, his fight with Vargas. You know, what I think he should do with his career. I really hope that maybe they can look into a Lomachenko fight, because I think it'd be good for his career. It'd be a sellable fight, because Berchelt is Mexican. Lomachenko's a name himself. And on top of that, style-wise, it's a great fight. It's a fight where, you know, Lomachenko, if he hangs in the pocket too long, it could get really dangerous and really ugly for him. It's a fight for Berchelt, you know, while he is improving, while he's showing a bit of head movement, he's still hittable, and Lomachenko could definitely do some damage to Berchelt. So both fighters have their vulnerabilities in that fight, and I think the styles mesh well. So this is a fight. This just add this to the list of fights I would claim for Lomachenko. You know, Lomachenko can fight Devin Haney, Lopez, Berchelt, and I'll be okay with it. Luke Campbell is a solid fight. Not really too excited about it, but you know, I know they're gonna say 2 Olympic gold medalists, but you know, I'm not really too hyped about it. You know, I don't think the styles are gonna mesh all that well, and I don't look at it as a competitive fight. I think Lomachenko's gonna do Luke Campbell some serious damage, but Berchelt, Teofimo, Devin Haney, those are 3 fights I'd love to see. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Miguel Berchelt, just his last performance against Francisco Vargas, and how do you think he would do against Vasily Lomachenko? You know, you can let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.